Let us clasp our hands together, close our eyes, bow our heads. As we perform this sacred arati of love and devotion to the lotus-like feet of the Lord, we see all of those positive traits that are represented by light, such as peace and harmony and contentment. They fill our lives, our homes, our community. The light of Shiva permeates the entire universe. Prince Ulomapati Mahadev ki Jai. Take your seats. Those of you who are now coming, there's a lot of seats on the side here. Prince Ulomapati Mahadev ki Jai. May I, on behalf of the management and the members of the Shri Parameshwari Durga Devi Ashram Incorporated, on behalf of myself, my family, extend the most cordial welcome to all of you. This is the final night of our 7 nights Shiv Puran Maha Yagna. Special welcome to Puja Pandit and Devi Maharaj and his Dharapatni. To all members of the Saraswati Sangeet Bhakti Mandali, welcome. And to all you devotees who have taken time off from your private lives, from your schedules to be with us here tonight. Tonight's discourse again taken from the pages of the Shiv Puran, and it highlights to us many lessons are learned in tonight's discourse. Tonight we'll see the virtue of being honest despite circumstances. We'll again see the power of devotion. And we'll see the greatness of Bhagavan Shiva as he relates to his devotees. But before we go into the depths of tonight's discourse, let us clasp our hands together. Let's close our eyes, bow our heads. Let us contemplate on Bhagavan Ganapati, he who is the giver of success, the remover of all forms of obstacles, and is always foremost amongst the host of the Devatas. We concentrate on Bhagavan Shiva, presiding deity of this yajna, that he may bless us with the peace and the understanding and the contentment and the love and the virtue that we need in our daily living. द्रवणाक्षराय श्री नीलकण्ठाय वृषध्वजाय तस्मै शिखाय नमः शिवाय वशिष्ठकुम्भौतमगौतमाय मुनि इन्द्रदेवर्चिकशेखराय चन्द्रारक वैश्वमलोचनाय तस्मै वकाय नमः शिवाय यक्ष स्वरूपाय जटाधराय पिनाकहस्ताय सनातनाय दिव्याय देवाय दिगंबराय तस्मै यकाय नमः शिवाय पंचाक्षरमिदं पुण्यं यः प्रति समन्वितौ शिवलोकामवाप्नोति शिवेना सह मूर्ते ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनाम् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय हरि ॐ नमः शिवाय प्रेम से बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय। Again, special welcome to one and all on this the last night of our Shiv Puran Maha Yagna. Shri Sukadev Maharaj is narrating Shiv Puran to all of the rishis and the munis that are gathered here. And he is responding to questions that are posed to him by no other than Sanat Kumar, the son of Lord Brahma. Sanat Kumar is asking Shri Sukadev Maharaj, O Holy One, O most learned among the sages, tell us about that form of Bhagavan Shiva. Tell us about that avatar of Bhagavan Shiva by which he became known as Suresh. Making this request to Shri Sukadev Maharaj, he closes his eyes and contemplates Bhagavan Shiva and says, O Sanak, the Katha of Suresh avatar of Bhagavan Shiva highlights the virtue of honesty in the depths of all misery, the value of honesty. It highlights what genuine devotion can achieve and the greatness and the mercy and the compassion of Bhagavan Shiva for his devotees. O Sanak, O Holy Ones, listen to the circumstances that led Lord Shiva to appear as Suresh. And as I keep telling you night after night, names in Sanatan Dharma mean is very important. What is the meaning of the word Suresh? It is made up of two words. It's a compound word. It's a compound word where they join two simple words to make up one word. So contemplate on that name, and towards the end of the Katha, if you haven't figured it out, we will discover it together. So let us hear what Shri Sukadeva Maharaj is about to tell Sanat Kumar. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Atma Mura Mahima Gita Mahayogishwara Upamanyati Utrasikaya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Prince Bolomapati Mahadev ki Jai. Sukadeva Maharaj is telling Sanat Kumar, there was a great rishi in the era of time that he exists. He was considered one of the greater munis by the name of Atma. Atma, he lived in a rural village with his Dharam-patni, and he had one son by the name of Upamanyam. Very, very great devotee of Bhagavan Shiva. Everything he did it as an act of devotion to Prabhu. All of the pujas, all of the yajnas, all of the seva he do it as an offering to Bhagavan Shiva. The little boy, Upamanyam, growing up in such a home, he too acquired genuine love and devotion to Bhagavan Shiva. Seeing the practice being conducted in his home, he followed suit. And it's very important. What you do in your home, your children are going to imitate you. A lot of people will complain they want the child or the children to come Sunday service, to get involved in temple activities. So the first thing I stop them and say, are you doing such? Well, Baba, we had to go to work, we don't have time, we have house to see about. If you're not doing it, the children not going to do it. Because children don't learn from teachers as much as they learn from what goes on inside their home. So Upamanyam, seeing both his mother and father continuously engaged in the devotion to Bhagavan Shiva, he acquired from a very, very tender age, while he was still a little child, devotion for Prabhu. And by the time he was about 5 or 6 years old, he could have completed a complete Shiv Puja. He knew how to perform the Abhishek. He knew how to recite mantras to Bhagavan Shiva. The great Rishi that his father was initiated him into the various worship of Bhagavan Shiva. But as fate would have it, everybody has their own karmas to deal with, isn't that so? As fate would have it, Atma Bodh, he passed away, he died. And upon dying, he ascended to the abode of Lord Shiva. However, if you know anything about ancient societies, it is male dominated. Even to some extent our own society, male dominated, isn't that so? Long ago, I'm sure, well, nowadays everybody has equal access to education. But you know, right here at one point in time, girl children wasn't go to school beyond primary school. Huh? You all are aware of that? So, coming from a traditional community, the main breadwinner in the home was the man of the house, Atma Bodh, and he passes away. So what is going to happen now to his wife and his son? Because the wife or the child's mother now, she never go out to work. And even some of our mothers in today's society, few of them, I will say very few, if unfortunately their husband passed away, they will still hold fast to what we call Pativrata Dharma. That is, they will not remarry. They will remain lifelong committed to that husband even after he has passed on. And this is a great virtue in our scripture. So much so, Anasuya Mata, the wife of Atri Rishi, in Ramchandra Manas, she gives the discourse to Sita Mata of fidelity and commitment to your husband. Of course, it's a two-way, because Shri Ram also took the vow of Ek Nari Vrat, to remain committed to his one wife. So, Upamanyam's mother, holding fast to her Pativrata Dharma, she did not remarry, as most Hindu societies did in ancient days. It was not a common practice. Of course, nowadays, you know what happened? Everything mixed up, everything jumbled up, and all kind of things has happened. What not supposed to happen before happened before and thing too. That is why society is so chaotic today. And so, poverty befell them, because no income is coming in. His mother is just a homemaker, that is, she's a housewife, I will say. She never go out to work. And so poverty befell them. To the extent to which she had to beg to get sustenance for her child. Her brother, who lives in a far-off village, heard of the hardship his sister is experiencing. And as the elder brother, who was very attached to his sister before marriage, he invited her with her son to take up residence in his home. But he had a very jealous wife. They were very wealthy. And so he owned a lot of cattle. Again, if you know anything about Hindu society, long ago, the more cow you have, what? The more wealth you are considered, the more affluent you are in society. So they had lots of cows. Her brother was one of the richest in the village that he lived in. And as such, he and his wife lived a very luxurious life. They had children of their own, and so the children were well fed and well taken care of. They had servants who looked after their needs. Hearing of the misfortune that had befell his sister, he invited her to take up residence in his home. However, upon doing so, they were ill-treated. While they may have a roof over their head, they did not have peace, they did not have happiness, and they had very little or no food, sometimes for days. And this was the condition in which Upamanyam and his mother lived in. And days goes into weeks, goes into months, and this, it only gets worse. From the time, in the early hours of the dawn, Upamanyam's mother would have to get up and attend to all of the household duties. Upamanyam would have to take the cows and go and graze them, while his uncle is off to the market or to meet the other business associates in the village. So he had no idea what was going on at home. His wife was in control of everything there. And contradicting every order that he gave, she would do exactly the opposite. When he would ask if his sister is being taken care of, she would reply yes, but increase the workload. When he would inquire whether his nephew is being well fed, she would reply yes, but do the opposite. And this was the state Upamanyam and his mother lived in. And so time went by, and Upamanyam, that little boy, if you're not eating properly, what's going to happen to you? Huh? You're going to get sick. What's going to happen to your body? You're going to throw down, as we would say. So he had to work hard whole day, take out hundreds of cattle during the day, make sure that they are fed, they drink water, no harm comes to them, and he have to bring them back home in the evening. When he brings them back home, you have to tend to them in their pens. Make sure they have a place to sleep, the place is dry, they have no insect and so on to bite them up and so on. A little boy who is not yet 10 years has to do all of that. And the mother, his mother, she has to clean the house every day, prepare the meals, and attend to all the other odd jobs around the home. So Shri Sukadev Maharaj, he continues to narrate the plight at which Upamanyam and his mother find themselves in. Let us hear as he continues. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Mahadev ki Jai. And so this is the condition under which Upamanyam and his mother found themselves in. And his aunt, Upamanyam's aunt, she knew Upamanyam was getting sick, and she's very well aware that he is drawn down. His body is becoming emaciated. And so when he brings in the cows in the evening, you know what she will do? She will take the milk and feed her children in front of him. When she cooks the food, she will feed her children in front of the boy. So what do you call that? Wickedness. Right? That is the peak of wickedness. She will even offer him a little bit of, a little morsel of food, you know. She'll feed her children. Nothing wrong in that. But to do it in such a manner, she's teasing this little boy. Upamanyam's mother, what she was handed over to as sustenance, the grains and that were bitten by insects, or the vegetables that are half rotten, that is what she would sort out and give to Upamanyam's mother to cook. And so Upamanyam became very sick to the extent to which he's crying and asking his mother for milk. And the mother has not yet, she has no milk to give him. He keeps hearing about how nutritious milk is and how it tastes. He sees his cousins and them drinking it, but he's not getting. When they milk the cow, they will go to the home and she will take the milk and feed her children in front of him. So what did she do? Her son, his belly is paining, he's rolling with pain. And like any mother would try to comfort the child when they are suffering. What did she do? To give him some milk. She knows she has no milk to give him. So she take up a little bit of grains, all different type of whatever she could get, she had from the field, from whatever she had there. But all of them were rejected grains. They were rotten or insect bit them up. And she put it in the sill and she started grinding it, make a powder paste. And she took some water and she mixed that. And she take it to Upamanyam. And as he drank it, he says, "Mother, this is not milk. I don't know what you're giving me here, but it's not milk." I know little children, when they don't like something, even if they're sick, they're not going to eat it or drink it. So imagine you have raw grains mixed up, all different types, mixed up and grind up in powder form. And you put up, big people start to like the taste of that kind of thing. I know it has some people telling me cook jingi and fig and they cook aloo and baigan and all of that, and they twist their face in all different directions. Carnival done, but they see the kind of face this give you. So if big people react to that, think about a little child, which is very particular on taste. So Upamanyam, he tells his mother, "Ma, this is not milk." And so what she do, all the mother could do is hug him and say, "Son, I can't give you any more milk. We don't have milk. All the milk is in the house. Let me go and beg for some." As Upamanyam, he stops his mother and said, "Mother, we were not given any. And we cannot impose or cause any inconvenience." You know, Upamanyam and his mother used to sleep in the cow pen. The bed they sleep on was the grass, the dry grass. This was the condition, so bad they were being treated. And Upamanyam is telling his mother that hour at night, don't go and disturb them. Don't put them in any inconvenience. But he is sick and suffering. This is from a child, and that speaks to his upbringing. He's seeing when he goes out in the field every day, he's seeing the cows feeding and the others are filled with milk, but he's not going to steal it. And so days pass, the pain in me increased. And as the faith was testing him and all, sometimes the milk will start dripping from the other of the cow. But he will not go and steal the milk. And every day he will ask, "Ma, why am I not getting milk? I want milk." Until finally the mother embraces him and says, "Oh son, it is only due to our bad karma. These things are happening to us. In our past, we did not offer milk to Bhagwan Shiva, so he's not blessing us with that milk in this life." And this struck a nerve with Upamanyam. We did not perform devotion to Bhagwan Shiva. We may not have performed abhishek to him. We may not have fed his devotees. So in this life, we are being deprived of sustenance and nourishment. And with this, and with tears in both of their eyes, they retired to bed. And as they hugged each other there, mother and son, and they fell asleep, with all that pain in his belly, Upamanyam fell asleep. The mother, wide awake, worrying where she's going to get something to feed this child. And as she's looking on at him, literally he's dying in front of her. He's withering away. Body is becoming more weak, more emaciated. And his malnutrition is increasing as the days go by. But yet the workload is also increasing. And she's worrying like this. And so Upamanyam asleep. Now let us hear what happens as he sleeps. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Maha Darshan Devo Rosha Shivaya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya Prem se bolo Mapati Mahadev ki Jai. And so as Upamanyam sleeps and his mother lie awake worrying, Upamanyam, in his dream, he dreamt his father in Shivlok, and his father in the company of Lord Shiva performing Shiv Puja. His father instructs him in his dream that, "O son, if you too were to perform Shiva Aradhana, the suffering that you are experiencing by Bhagwan's grace will immediately disappear." So this is what he dreamt his father instructed him to do. So saying, he got up extra early next day. He attended to his duties. Notice the honesty of this boy. When he was hungry, he didn't steal. He didn't inconvenience or didn't impose on those who were giving him shelter, although he was being ill-treated. And he still fulfilled his duties. He got up extra early and tended to the cows. Then he left home. He walked out of the yard. His mother happened to fall asleep by then. And he walked out of the yard. Where is he going to? He remembered while taking the cows to graze in the far off, in the dense part of the forest, he saw an abandoned Shiv mandir. And so he walked off of the yard without the knowledge of anyone. Everybody still asleep. The place is pitch black. Darkness all around. And so he goes to where that Shiv mandir is. Using the lotus leaf, he fashions a cup from the leaf. He scoops the water from the nearby river and brings it and cleans the lingam that is established there in the inner sanctum of the mandir. And it's a tradition, wherever there is a Shiv mandir, in the yard of that mandir there will be a bale tree. So he plucked the bale leaves. And he went about in the forest right there and gathered the wild fruits and the wild flowers and a few of the wild lotus that were growing, the leaves, which he used as talis. And right there himself, he gathered the water from the river. And he made use of these simple items. And by this time, the Brahma Muhurat had arrived. What is the Brahma Muhurat? Huh? Anybody, what is Brahma Muhurat? Okay, let me ask it a different way. Where is the time at the night, or let's pull the couple at the most? Huh? Early morning, eh? For Trinidad is roughly between 4:30 to the time of sunrise. That is the Brahma Muhurat period. And so he waited for that auspicious time and he starts performing his Shiv Puja. With the wild fruits that he has gathered, the wild flowers that he had gathered, with the water that he has gathered, with the bay leaves he has plucked from the tree. This is all he has there. In the distance, he gathered some dry wood, some dry leaves, and he managed to kindle a little fire. So he has a little havan kun going there. So he made use of what is available. And I want you to see the simplicity. You know, we have people that make excuse too bad when it comes to puja. If puja requires you to have a lot of expensive stuff, that is only millionaires going to heaven. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram, Pushpam, Palam, Toyam, leaves, flowers, fruits, simple objects. What is the qualifying ingredient? Yone bhaktya samadhavai, with love and devotion. Some people will leave puja 3-4 years undone and say, Baba, I cannot afford to perform puja. But when Christmas time comes, you have the most stocks of beers in your house. And you know all the different blue and black and, what's the different labels that's called? Huh? Well, all you tell me about. I could call me man, all you tell me, you know. But all you know the latest, how it is taste and all that kind of thing. You have money for that. You have money to play the fool. You have money to gamble. You have money to do everything else. But to do God praise, to help yourself, you don't have time for that. And when you break up and get cooked up all how, then you come, Baba, I am feeling good. Things ain't going good. The Dulahin don't leave me already. The children beat me and put me out. Look at what Upamanyam was experiencing. And in all of that adversity, it didn't mention anyway, from the time his father passed away to this present time, it wasn't written that he performed formal worship. Maybe he did it in his mind, but he did no formal worship. This is the first formal worship he's doing since his father passed away. And look at the dream in which his father instructed him in. Perform Shiv Aradhana and your troubles will disappear. That is why, devotees, our scriptures are designed, our Karmakant scriptures are designed in such a way that for grihastis, that is people like us, those who are living householders' life, we have our annual compulsory pujas that must be taken care of. They are your nitya karmas and your neti karmas. Your neti karmas are occasional duties that you do on special occasions. Your nitya karmas are your daily duties you must do under all circumstances. And prayers don't have to be expensive. It don't have to be complicated. You know, sometimes, and when I do follow up with some people, it is for this. It have more educated people in society, but they don't teach too bad, you know. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of common sense planning. You know you're going to host a puja. You know you have a time for the puja to start. At least have the ingredients that you need to use by the baby prepared. Forget about the cooking and thing. You'll see about that afterwards. If you have the time after seeing about that, then you're going to see about it. But that must be the priority first. Your prasad, your puja samagri, your leaves and flowers and all those articles of worship must be your first priority before anything else. That is why I just tell you, when you have to know, when you know you're going to do big prayers, chunky all your pot before I reach by your house. Because me want to sneeze up myself when you say I start your prayers. The environment is supposed to be sattvic. When you're chunky all them high season and you're blowing over the baby and you sneezing and you snap and spit going on the baby, which devta come in there to take anything? And as he say, Mahatma, you're only going to put a parcel for who to eat? Me? Not at all. So it's a little bit of common sense sometimes that can determine your efficiency and how well you manage a situation and to benefit from it. Your puja environment must always be sattvic. That is why if you go to any mandir or any yagyashala, you see the Devi area is always isolated from where the dining area or the kitchen area is. And there's a reason why we do that. If that wasn't important and necessary, you could have bring your pot right here and chunk it over the oven. It's always like it. But you know you can't do that. Why? Because the rules of the puja prohibits that. And anytime you contaminate the sattvic environment, and contamination doesn't have to be with meat, high spices generates a rajasic environment. Meat and so on generates a tamasic environment. Puja can only give results when it is conducted in a sattvic environment. So your preparation, that is why Vedvyas took time to write and tell you, Upamanyam, he went, he cleaned the lingam first, then he gathered the flowers, he gathered the fruits, he gathered the water. He takes time to write down these things. Why? He wants you to see the processes that are involved. Because you now will have to apply that in your preparation for your puja. All of our sastras declares full benefits are only obtained when a complete offering is made. Incomplete offering gives absolutely no benefits or can give even the opposite effect. You know, Sai Baba has an interesting formula. He says, divine grace is directly proportional to your efforts. So Upamanyam, he prepared the puja environment, and having gathered all of these samagris, he sits down there now in front of that lingam and he starts performing Shiv Puja. Let us join Upamanyam as he performs Shiv Puja. He pours the abhishek, the jal on the lingam. He pours the bay leaves. He uses the flowers that he has gathered and he uses the leaf with the fruits as offering. So let us all join as we worship Lord Shiva together with Upamanyam. Let us join Upamanyam in his devotion to Lord Shiva.
Devi
And like this, Upamanyam, he worships Lord Shiva. Narad Muni, from a distance, he was observing this little boy alone in this dark forest, performing Shiv Puja in an abandoned mandir. And all around in this huge forest, there are wild animals. Lord Shiva, he also observed, he's looking on as Upamanyam performs his devotion. So note, those of you who are questioning, does God listen to me when I pray? Here in Shiv Puran, Vedas was written, from the time you start the puja, God starts paying attention. And so, Lord Shiva is observing the attitude of mind of Upamanyam. And so he decides to test the faith of Upamanyam. So what did he do? He appears in front of Upamanyam, but not as Shivaji, like how we know him, seated, blue in complexion, holding the Trishul and so on. He appears as Indradev. He disguises himself as Indradev. And he says, "Oh Upamanyam, I am pleased with your devotion, ask for what you want." And so absorbed Upamanyam was in Shiv Bhakti, he didn't even raise his face to look. He says, "Oh Indradev, I do not want anything from you." And he bows his head respectfully. And he continues pouring the abhishek on the lingam and offering the articles. And so Bhagavan Shiva, he starts now. He says, "Oh Upamanyam, tell me what you want that I cannot give you." And Upamanyam is not paying attention. Actually, Upamanyam, he intensifies his devotion now. He says, "Oh Indradev, I didn't call on you, I call on Shiva. And it's only Shiva I will acknowledge." And so, not realizing that it's Bhagavan Shiva in disguise. And this form of Lord Shiva, Vedas is describing it. Crowned on his head, heavily jeweled, fine ornaments and dress. Normally this is not the appearance of Lord Shiva, you know that, right? Lord Shiva has the tiger skin around him, the snakes around his neck, the jata on his head, but this form of Lord Shiva looks like a king. And so Narad Muni, who is observing this lila, to create a little bacchanal, you know, he like to create a little trouble now and then, he went and told Indradev, Lord Shiva, I think Lord Shiva wants to take over your job, you know, I think he wants to do your work. I think he's very displeased with you. And so he might be taking over your work, because I see him disguise himself as you. So Indradev, you know, anytime Indradev here, anybody challenge his position, he has started charge up and so on. So Indradev is now looking, and he's seeing Lord Shiva in Indra's disguise. And you can imagine what going through. He knows I Lord Shiva, and he just get this news from Narad. So Narad draw his assumption and tell Indra without verifying it. And Indra seeing Lord Shiva in his own form. So Indra head hot right now. And so, not paying attention to this form of Lord Shiva, which is known as Suresh. Sura means the Devatas, Isha, the god, Suresh, the god of the Devatas. That is the meaning of the word Suresh. In Trinari it says Suresh. The only other time Lord Shiva ever put on ornaments was when he was going to get married. He He put on, and not even heavily ornamented like this. He put on some clean clothes, some silken clothes, and he put a little crown on his head, but not a full piece crown, something like a tiara. But he still had the jata and the rudraksh and all that kind of thing there. So that is the only other time it is mentioned in scripture that Lord Shiva wear jewelry on his body. And this is the other time when he appeared as Suresh. Noticing Upamanyam is intensifying his devotion, Lord Shiva decides to test the will and the determination of this little boy. So what did he do? By a wave of his hands. Remember, it is the breaking hours of the morning, so the place is still kind of cool and calm. So by a wave of his hands, the sun became very fiery, and the place became hot. And this little boy is on the verge of catching heat stroke, but he's not giving up his devotion, sweating as he is, and he continues to intensify. And as Lord Shiva looks at him, a pleasant smile appears on his face. And so again, with a wave of the hand, total darkness returned. But it was ice cold this time. Cold breeze was blowing. And so he's now trembling. His already thin and weakened body is exposed to this cold breeze. So he's trembling, holding the lotus leaf as a cup in his hands, and his hands, imagine, picture the form, the scene. His hands trembling and he pouring the water on the lingam. So look at what he is going through. I know some of we be bump, we big toe when we come down from the bed and say, my foot hot and I ain't going in the temple this morning. Huh? Or you get up 5 minutes late, your clock, or your phone ring or something, or whatever that custom, or the cockhead crow, the neighbor pocket. And you get up 5 minutes late. You say, you know what? God, you take a holiday today. I'm late for work. And you start out the house. I don't know if you brush your teeth or you bathe or whatever, or you're gone. I hope nobody here does that. Always, don't leave home without acknowledging God first. There may be some trying situations at times, but even if you have to reduce the amount of time you would normally spend under those extraordinary circumstances, you still do it before you leave. You never know what could happen. Suppose one morning, and God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, you rush out of home like that, hoping to reach to work on time, and you get yourself in an accident now. What is your condition? In Puran, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, the thought or the consciousness you have in the mind at the time the soul leaves the body, that is what you're going to come back in your next life as.
The great grandmother of four. The funeral of the late Cecilia Mendoza, better known as Council, will take place tomorrow, Sunday, 24th August, at 2 p.m. from the House of Mourning, number 65, Caroline Savannah Road, off California Drive, and then to the Shogwana Cemetery, where the body will be buried according to Christian rites. Relatives, friends, all are asked kindly to accept this invitation. Thank you.
Principal Mahapati Mahadev Ki Jai. So God forbid something like that, you should fall in that type of trap. I know in the morning you don't expect things to happen, in the morning that kind of thing is happening. So that is why, try your best. It's better you reach the work late and your boss quarrel with you a little bit than something like that will happen. And let us say while on the way you're thinking about what? Some stupid thoughts occupying your mind. And if Bhagavan Krishna were to hold you to those words of his, the consciousness in the mind at the time the soul is leaving the body, that is what you become. So So if at the time, so if you get into yourself in that accident and you happen to pass away and you was thinking about some donkey or something, where you come back? Huh? Don't put yourself in them compromising positions. Another useful tool, you see, instead of listening to rubbish early hours of the morning while going to work, play these CDs with the bhajans and the mantras and so on. At least it gets your mind in a different frame. And even if you have a bad day at the office, because you have fortified yourself from the morning period, you'll be better able to cope with it. But when you go and you're ponging them, that is some of them music all you listen to is not even English. All kind of old pan and old thing all it is be listening to. And you go to work with that type of mentality. No wonder Trinidad will not achieve first world status. Because you're always backward in thinking and backward in your culture. You know right now you have a problem in this country, go to any government ministry after lunch and what happen? If you're getting productive work done, or like to talk about education, you go after lunch in ministry and you get to come back next day. So Upamanya, despite all of these trials in the environment, and Bhagavan Shiva again with a wave of their hand, intense heat, intense cold, and like this it fluctuates. And so not capturing Upamanyam's attention in this way, Suresh, he starts talking, and let us hear what he's saying to Upamanyam. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Pure Deva Upamanyami Asti Karna Shiva Devaya Vasudevaya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Prince Bolo Mahapati Mahadev ki Jai. And so Suresh now, oh Lord Shiva in that disguise, he says, oh Upamanya, why are you worshipping Lord Shiva? He can't give you anything. He doesn't even have for himself. He has no home. He lives on a peak of a mountain. He has no clothes. He has to dress himself in the hides of animals. He has no food to eat. He has to depend on fruits and wild shoots and roots that grows. He has no ornament, no wealth. Why are you worshipping him? He cannot relieve you of your poverty. And so he keeps talking about Lord Shiva from a negative point of view. He said, his body is powdered with ashes from the cremation ground. He has snakes decorating his body. Upamanyam, and in his throat has poison. He carries a deadly trishul with him, and he's very short-tempered. And so he keeps speaking about Lord Shiva like this, and tears flowing out from this boy's eyes. And he's saying, whoever you are, stop. You have no right to insult my God. You have no right to insult my devotion. You have no right to insult my aradhana, my puja. So look at what this boy is teaching us. Do not let people part of your dharma. And so what did he do? Taking the ash from the Havan Kund, that little fire that he kindled there, he took up some ash from it. And he said, oh, you vile and wicked individual who come here in disguise, I will destroy you. And so he invokes into that ash the Aghora Astra, one of the most destructive weapons of Lord Shiva. And he released the ash, he blows the ash in the direction of Lord Shiva, and that weapon took form. And it darted towards Suresh. But as Upamanyam now raises his head and he looks, he's seeing the face of Shiva in disguise, and the arrow, that Aghoras, is in his hands. Realizing Bhagavan Shiva capturing the Aghora Astra, he throws off the form of Suresh and stands in front of him as Mahadev. Principal Umapati Mahadev Ki Jai. Seeing this form of Shiva, Upamanyam, he lies prostrate at the feet of Bhagavan Shiva. And Lord Shiva said, oh son, I am pleased with you. You have demonstrated character for such a young person. This test was necessary not to prove your devotion to me, but for me to establish to the world the foremost among Shiva saints. And as history will have it, up to today, all of the different variety, whether it's Vedic or Puranic or Tantric, Shiv rituals that are on earth that we practice today, they were written down by Upamanyam, having got the knowledge from Shiva himself. So all the Shiv puja that we do, this Upamanyam is the one who cataloged all of these in writing. And so Lord Shiva established to the world that this is indeed his devotee, sanctioned by him to establish his authority through his worship. And Lord Shiva says, oh Upamanyam, he raises him from the ground and puts his hands on his head, and his body was immediately healed. From this day forward, you will never be in need of anything. You will never be hungry again. You wanted milk? Therefore I give you the Kshir Sagar, which Lord Vishnu resides. You will have all the milk you want. Look at the Baradan that he got. And O Upamanyam, though you will be the author of my puja of various types on earth, you will also be the guru of that same Vishnu when he comes on earth in Dwapar. And if you were to go to Bhagavad Puran now, you will see after Lord Krishna had grown up and he had moved to Dwarika to live, and he decides it's time for him to have children, it is this same Upamanyam who Lord Krishna went to, got initiated in Shiv Puja. Lord Krishna and his queens performed Shiv Puja, they performed the Somabrat, where they consecrated that Dirtlingam, and the puja was given by Upamanyam, how to worship that lingam. And so noble children were born to Lord Krishna. So this is the Upamanyam, he became the guru of Bhagavan Krishna. When Krishna decided it was time to end the family life, He didn't just went and do like what some people do. They go out in the night and they come back in the morning, and a few days time they're pregnant. And when he asked them how that happened, well, I don't know. It was well planned, under the influence of puja. So this is the greatness of Upamanyam. He received the Chir Sagar from Lord Shiva. But while all of this was happening there in that Shiv Mandir, what was happening? His mother was panic-stricken. She gets up in the morning to do the house, to do her duties, and her son is missing. Her husband already died and gone. She's suffering, and she only has she and her son. And so she is panicking. And like a mad person, she is running all over the courtyard, calling him out loud. And so this raised a commotion in the village. Everybody now is looking for Upamanyam. And the sister-in-law, she frightened too bad now. Why? Lati Mangi. She brother say, take your sister and the nephew. She was doing that. Everything coming in the open now. So everybody looking for Upamanyam. And what did they saw? They saw it off in the distance. The bhajans of Bhagavan Shiva is being sung. And this little boy, Lord Shiva holding one hand, and Devi Parvati holding the next hand. And they're bringing him back home to where his mother is. And this little boy singing praises to Bhagavan Shiva as Mata, his universal mother and father, escorted him back to his mother. So let us all join Upamanyam as he sings and prays to Bhagavan Shiva. As Devi Parvati and Lord Shiva, they take us in their hands. We are their children, and walks through this stage of life, this Leela which we call life on earth. As we walk through life, Lord Shiva and Parvati, Mother Shri, that we are not alone, they are going to walk with us. But we have to make the effort to walk too. So let us all join as we worship Lord Shiva. Chandrasekharaya Namo, Chandrasekharaya Namo, Chandrasekharaya Om Namah Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Namo. Hare Hare Haraya Namo. Hare Hare Haraya Namo. Hare Hare Haraya Namo. Hare Hare Haraya Namo. Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo. Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo. Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo. Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo. Gangadhara Namo. Gangadhara Namo. Gangadhara Namo. And like this, Upamanyam, he worships Lord Shiva. He sings the praises of Lord Shiva. And Upamanyam Mother, surprised. Everyone's surprised to see this little boy. Parvati Mata on one side, Lord Shiva on one side. And it's like any little children, he's dancing and jumping up on them and so on. And they're walking him home. And so, having brought him back home, Parvati Mata, she who is the mother of all, understands the mother's heart. And she takes the son and places him on the mother's lap. And then, with her own hand, she created an Akshaya Patra, a special pot, and she instructs the mother, whatever you want will be provided through this, and you will have it with you as long as you both shall live. And so handed it over. You have to depend on no one for any resources. This is something similar to what Surya had given Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata. And so Parvati Mata giving Upamanyam and his mother this. Now they always had food and their needs were taken care of. And so Lord Shiva is asking Upamanyam, oh son, before I leave, what else do you want? And so Upamanyam, while all this is taking place, everyone is around except who? Huh? Except Ikutani, right? She hiding because she knows she's afraid Lord Shiva now. And she prayed her husband cut she tail too. So Upamanyam, what did he do? He said, "Oh Bhagwan, bless my aunt and my uncle so they could have more, but give them an attitude of mind where more they have, more they will be able to help others." And this was the request of this little boy. He would be very right in saying, "You see that lady who give me pressure? Give she pressure back." But he's teaching us, too wrong to make her right. And this is what distinguished Upamanyam, that is what made him the great sage that he is. And this is what Bhagwan Shiva wanted to show the other rishis. Young in age, but his devotion, very few rishis could compare to him. That is why Bhagwan Shiva gave him the authority to be the scribe, to be the one who catalogs the various types of Shiv Puja, Shiv worship there. For he is capable of doing it. And Bhagwan Shiva demonstrated by the test that he put him through, that he's competently able to do the task. And so, having blessed that home and that family, Bhagwan Shiva and Devi Parvati, they left. And so, that village in which Upamanyam now lives in, and now is now growing up in, became very wealthy, very prosperous. Huge Shiv Mandir was built there, and they performed Shiv Puja. Prem se bolo Umapati Mahadev ki Jai. So at this point in time, we have our concluding Havan. And while we have our concluding Havan taking place, again, let me remind you of some of our ashram activities. I won't be too long. We have our upcoming Devi Ratha Yatra festival. And it is the hallmark festival of this ashram, the Shri Parameshwari Durga Devi Ashram Incorporated of Heliconia Drive, Savannah Heights, Charleville, invites you to attend our annual Devi Ratha Yatra festival, commencing on the 24th of September 2014, terminating on the 3rd of October 2014, Kanya Kumari Puja on Thursday the 2nd